Hi, this is Brian with ActiveMelody.com. In this week's guitar lesson, we're going to break down a rock blues rhythm that has a very simple jam track. The jam track is just drums. It's a very simple drum track as well. There's just kick drum and snare drum. And I did that intentionally. I wanted to show you how much space you could fill as a rhythm guitar player. So often we get caught up playing lead guitar that you neglect the importance of playing rhythm. And rhythm is just as important as lead, maybe even more important, because it's really the bedding that all the lead stuff lays on top of anyway. If you want to get people up and dancing, you do that by playing rhythm, not playing lead necessarily. So I've got this lesson split into two parts. In this video we'll break down the first half. If you'd like to watch the second half, as well as download the tablature and the MP3 jam track, which I have in two tempos for this lesson, you can go to ActiveMelody.com, go to the lessons page, and do a search for EP239. Alright, so this blues rhythm is played in the key of E, and it's a 1-4-5 chord progression. You have your E chord for your 1 chord, your A for your 4, and your B for your 5 chord. And we're going to start with the 1 chord, or the E, and we're not going to make a full chord with the left hand. We're only going to play the bottom 2 notes out of that chord. This should be considered a power chord. And so I've got my index finger down on the 2nd fret, 5th string, and we're going to be playing strings 6 and 5. And also, it's going to be a series of downstrokes with the right hand. So in the beginning, this first part is just going to be downstrokes. So we have the 2nd fret, we're going to come up and play the 4th fret, and then up to the 5th fret. And again, it's just strings 6 and 5. Now you could use your pinky there on the 5th fret. It's probably more the proper way to do that. I find it easier just to slide my whole hand up. It's really up to you though. Or back down to the 4th fret, and then back down to the 2nd fret. Now if I play it on its own, just like that, it's going to sound pretty boring. I mean, that's cool, the notes are there, but what gives it that drive, that rock drive, is the way that you hit the strings with your right hand. So even though they're downstrokes, you have to hit them the same way you would hit them if you were playing drums. And that's why I included the drum track with this lesson. I wanted you to really listen to what the drums are doing. You have kick, snare, 1 and 2 and 3 and you're going to be simulating that with your pick. So even without the jam track, you've already got that drum thing going. And that's just kick, snare, kick, snare. And all that means is you're hitting the snare harder than you do the kick. So let's practice that. Getting that groove down. Now the next thing that happens are 2 upstrokes that happen over an A chord. Just threw that in. It's a kind of like a Sonny Landreth type fill. I've been listening to a lot of John Hiatt. If you listen to some of his earlier recordings, you're going to hear that kind of driving rhythm. I don't know if it was John playing guitar or Sonny doing that, but anyway, a lot of this came from those recordings. So it's 2 upstrokes. And I'm playing, borrowing the first 4 strings on the 2nd fret, and I'm playing strings 3, 4, and 5. And then there's one other upstroke actually after that, which is the open 3rd and 4th string. And that's just a percussive, really quick thing that you do just to get you back to the E. Let me show you how it sounds. I'll play through it slowly. Hear it? I mean, it happens so quickly you almost don't hear it. But if you leave it out, it sounds a little naked to my ear. So I think it's important to do up, 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 and then back down to the downstrokes. Alright, so now you have a whole loopable part for E. And if you learn nothing else in this lesson, you've got this really cool groove that you can play when you're playing in the key of E. So here we go. I could do that all day long. It's just so intoxicating to me. Alright, so that's the first time through. Now the second time through, hear the subtle difference? The second time through I went down, up. That's it. There was just one little extra note, one extra stroke rather, but that made a lot of difference, I think, in the feel of that. By the way, if you're getting confused as to what's a downstroke, what's an upstroke, this is all put into the tablature, so you can read the down and upstrokes on the tab. I tried to include all of those in all the relevant parts. Okay, so the second time through, down, up, down, 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 down. And then instead of doing the the two upstrokes, I played a little lead part. That's a hammer-on between the 2nd fret and the 4th fret on the 5th string, and then I do an upstroke on the 2nd fret, 4th string, and we go back down to the 4th fret, 5th string, and down to the 2nd fret, 5th string. So we have, and you can see what I'm doing with the pick, and again, that's in the tablature. Okay, and that's just to break it up. It just gives you two different variations for how you can play that rhythm. Let's put it all together now. You got the two parts for E. It just flows together. Now we're going to go to the 4 chord. We're going to go to the A. Here's what's cool about playing an A, and I know most of you know this, but it's the same thing. We're just going to move everything up a set of strings. So now we're going to be playing on strings 5 and 4 instead of 6 and 5. So we got our index finger in the same position, 2nd fret. This time it's on the 4th string. And we're going to walk it up just like we did. And you're keeping that same percussive thing. Now this time I went... And again, that's a Sonny Landreth thing. And for that, I'm playing, I keep the bar down on the 2nd fret, but I put my middle finger down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. My ring finger goes down on the 4th fret, 3rd string. And it's the same cadence that you have the first time, up, up, 2 upstrokes. And then the 3rd upstroke, we take these fingers off and play just the bar there. So it'd be the 2nd fret, strings 2 and 3. So you have... So that's what it sounds like for that A part. So let me back up and play through the A part. Here we go. Now notice the second time through, the same thing. I go down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. And then I go back to that lead part. Same lead part. It gets us right back to the 1 chord, the E chord. Very cool to put those 2 chords together. Okay. Alright, so now we go to the 5 chord. And for that, I'm visualizing the 5 chord like this. This is the way I'm thinking of the B chord. So I'm starting with that 2nd fret, 5th string, and then I'm sliding all the way up to the 6th fret on the 5th string. And all I'm doing there is I'm playing this part of the chord. And I've covered this in other lessons where you've got this chord shape, and you've got the same chords, right? But you can play a different note in the bass. So you can play it up here. Think of the song Wind Cries Mary. It's a good example of using this chord shape. Anyway, so we're going to start there, 2nd fret, 5th string, slide up to the 6th fret, and there I'm barring the first 4 strings on the 4th fret, but I'm playing strings 3 and 4. And then keeping that bar down, I put my ring finger down on the 6th fret, 4th string. And then I come up here and do the same thing that I did over the A chord. So for that, I keep the bar down, I put my middle finger down on the 5th fret, 2nd string, my ring finger goes down on the 6th fret, 3rd string. So down, I mute it down, and then I do an upstroke, and then I go. So all together. It looks like that. And again, that's in the tablature if you want to really break it down and slow that down. And then we go down to the 4 chord. It's your standard blues format. We have, and again, it's that down up. So it's the same thing that we did the first time with the A. And then you do a up, down. And then back to the 1 chord. And that's really the whole format. It's actually, there's not a whole lot of complexity to it. It's more feeling than anything. And so it's trying to get that kick, snare. So put on that jam track, and I've got it in different tempos. If this is too fast, start off with a slower one. And try and get the groove to it. That's more important than even hitting the right notes. It's really true. As long as you're on the beat, nobody will ever turn around and look at you like you're playing something wrong. If you play something right but not on the beat, everybody looks at you. It's really true. All right, so let me back up and play through that slowly, and then I'll see you in part 2 for the second half. So here we go.